Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. It
Hey.
is Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. And if you're in Omaha, Nebraska, it's around 7 o'clock. We're going to get it fired up. Good morning. First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Ooh, once again. Down the wrong pipe. Good morning. Good morning.
Me. You good? You good over there?
Switch down that drunk ship real quick. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning, and I appreciate you guys getting up early with us on a Wednesday. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
It's happening right now. It's about 25 degrees outside. If you're in Omaha, a little chilly still.
Really?
Chances of flurries. Actually, it's 32, but it'll get up to 43 today, even with the chance of flurries this morning. If you're keeping track of that type of thing. I don't think there's any news. I think that Omahans do well when the weather's right around this. They can deal with 32.
If I'm not mistaken, that actually sounds like an improvement from last time.
Yeah, bro. It was 1 degree on Monday.
Brr.
Yeah, kind of cool. As you saw as we were coming in, hopefully that you saw when we were coming in, we got special guests coming in today. We're going to be checking in with Justin Wayne.
Hey, speaking of the Weatherman Wayne.
Oh, Weatherman Wayne. Man, I wish I had a picture of him standing out by that tornado.
Man, storm chasing.
Welcome. I see Leah Keister in the chat giving us a what's up Wednesday. What's happening?
Okay.
Thanks for coming through. Pops gives us a good Wednesday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops.
Peace.
Shandy Jones gives us a good morning. Okay. New name.
Yeah. Top of the morning to you. Thank you for coming in. All the ghost listeners out there too. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today, buddy?
Man, tired. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired. Yeah.
You stayed up late watching the State of the Union, didn't you?
Yeah. We could say that. You could say that. Watched it on silent. I'll tell you that much. If anybody did catch it, let us know because, no.
Longest one in history, by the way.
2 hours.
That's crazy. I just knew it was over. I was looking for the recap, and I was like, well, why can't I find the recap? Oh, because it's still live.
Yeah. So, if y'all want to talk about that, feel free. I have nothing for you for that. But, feel free to have your minds be, free, have your voices be heard. Other than that, man, I'm feeling all right, man. Looking forward to today's conversation. Definitely looking forward to today's guest, kind of a part of our six to dismiss a little bit, brother running for office. So reminding people we are in the middle of a midterm. Mm-hmm. And so definitely talk about that. But man, how you feeling? What's going on in your world?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. It's midweek, trying to push on through. Yeah, definitely.
Get over the hump.
Say again?
Trying to get over the hump.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to speaking with Brother Wayne. We haven't caught up with him in a while, and definitely have some things to talk about with him today. So we'll jump in with him when he gets here, and really looking forward to that. Other than that, just trying to find some balance with work, with life, with family, with all kinds of stuff. So that's what's up. Pops, Zane did the mics last night. I don't know if you saw the picture yet, so we'll talk about that a little later on. But spent some time with the fam last night, so that was good. And I always feel good when I can break away and do that. Yeah. Not too bad. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys coming in early. I see Ariel's 402 says, how do you like it? How do you like hot? Make the like button hot. Yes.
Hot.
Hit the like button on YouTube, if you will, and on Facebook. Also, share the show on Facebook, if you would. Share it on your page. We'll get as many people in the conversation as possible today. That would be great. I see Sean McCarthy giving us a good morning. You up early? Up, Adam?
Man,
what's going on, brother?
give us a little to Brother Shamari.
Hey, okay. Where did I miss him?
Yeah, he says caught Shamari's dinner and discussion last night at Lalibela. Almost a full turnout of the Ethiopia situation.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made that, man. Thanks for the report on that. Mark Manor gives us a good morning. Shout out to Mark Manor. Appreciate you, man. Mark Manor put a nice post out about us the other day. I really appreciate that post. And also, I forgot to show this. You got your stuff going on as well, man. Shout out to Mark Manner. Shout out to everybody who is putting themselves out there this way. He's got a podcast, The Dark Stuff. Episode 1 is out right now, so definitely go check that out. I was looking at, oh, that's the wrong flyer. Hold up. I was looking
No,
at,
no.
that's the wrong one too. Oh, sorry, Mark. I had it all queued up, but put one in front of the other. But yeah, definitely go check this out on YouTube is where I found your episode. So you guys are talking about some hip hop albums, some futuristic hip hop albums, and all kinds of stuff on there. I can't wait to dig in and hear more on the podcast in your podcast as well. So definitely check
Okay.
it out. I'll get you a link here somewhere too, so you can go check out Brother Manners post, Brother Manners deal. And yeah, I just really like I love the fact that the people are really trying to put their thing out there. And we need more of all this. We need more discussion on all of it. This is really how people are getting their news these days. So I know that I watch maybe 4 or 5 video podcasts and stuff like that a week just to kind of get a grasp on what's going on in the world. So
Man.
yeah, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Appreciate it. Also, RG gives us a morning, y'all. What's happening? Judy Prinzler gives us a good morning. Can't watch him or hear his voice. Judy, let me tell you something. I tried 3 times and I can't do it. I can't do it.
Talking
Can't
about
even,
the orange one.
can't even hear him talk. I just can't do it. Sean McCarthy said, we already talked about that. Mama God gives us a good morning, fam. Appreciate you. Heather Williams,
Hey.
good morning, everyone. Also, Marlon Harrison says, there was a State of the Union yesterday. I was watching A Different World last night. Bro, trust me, you made the better choice. As far as
Man. Yeah. If anybody did catch it though, I want to at least know what he talked about.
Well, I tell you what I did do. I followed a couple people who were commenting the whole time. Precious McKesson being one of them. So I got the gist of what was being said at the time, just
Okay.
from hearing the reactions.
Got the
But
play by play.
yeah, man, just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. So Rhea Vincent gives us a good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on through. We're gonna go ahead and jump into some community updates right now because there's a lot of them. It's
Hey.
actually almost like a Friday with everything that's going on here. So we'll definitely jump into a few things. First of all, want to talk about this culture talk that's coming up here on February 26th, which is tomorrow. Shout out to the Omaha Performing Arts and the hip hop lab that they put on here. I think the hip hop lab is an awesome thing that they got going on here every year, several times a
Man,
year.
this is huge.
Definitely get your tickets. Culture Talk with graffiti legends Lady Pink and Justin Bull is going to be in the house. They're going to be speaking with Houston Alexander and Hugo Zamorano, which is a couple of local legends as well. So, man, and just legends in general. So I appreciate that there's going to be so many heavy hitters here talking about one of the elements of hip hop right
Right.
here in Omaha, Nebraska. That's what's happening. Shout out to the OPAs for doing that in a big
Legendary.
way.
Yeah.
Legendary, man, legendary. Also, this is also coming up. If not, let me see. I'll move this banner out the way because I can't never see what's happening at the bottom. There it is. Most important part. Suge's Comfort Food is providing food here, and I'm messing up. Black History Month Community Power Series is going down on the 25th, which is today. This is at 6 o'clock, 6 to 8 at the Carpenters Union, 10761 Virginia Plaza in La Vista. Shout out to Senator Roundtree. I've been reaching out to him to see if we can get him on to talk about some of the efforts that he's doing right now as well. He's got a lot of stuff happening. So the senator's in there doing the good work. And this is something that's been put on by the Nebraska Democratic Party Black Caucus and Sarpy County Democrats. It will be hosting this event. So definitely come check this out tonight if you are so inclined at the Carpenters Union in La Vista. Man, shout out to Senator Roundtree, for real. Doing the good work. Also, as you said, if you're just joining us, we're going to be speaking with Justin Wayne here shortly. So stay tuned, get questions ready. There's a lot to talk about there. But before we get there, just want to give the brothers from Beyond the Stigma a little love. They're going to be coming on. Their next event is on the 28th. So we've got a few days there, 3 to 5 at Assembly of the Saints. Shout out to Pastor Ballard, Assembly of the Saints. Shout out to Brother Johnny No Good, who's putting this Beyond the Stigmas on. If you don't know what this is, it's a group of men that get together, kind of have some discussion with each other, some fellowship, some talk about some deep things, talk about things that a lot of times the society doesn't want them to talk about too much, how they feel about certain things, and their mental health. This is all in order to strengthen everybody's mental health. And I really appreciate this event that they put on, and it's been going on strong now for a while. Obviously, men want to get together and have some discussion. So, shout out to Johnny No Good for the this being his brainchild, and everybody who supports Beyond the Stigma coming up February 28th.
Man, man, that's
Yeah.
mm. Man, I just want to say something real quick about that.
Yeah, yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah, yeah, just because I haven't really talked about it too much, but just recently, the last couple of weeks, experienced two young men that were close to me, basically losing their battle to mental health. Um, so yeah, just man, shout out to Johnny No Good for doing this, and yeah, man, especially our brothers out there, man, speak up, don't hold it in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need more and more mental health resources out there. A lot of people, excuse me, a lot of people struggling. Some people struggling silently, and yeah, yeah, man, not even sure, too much to say about it, but just big shout out to Johnny No Good for having this arena, having this platform, having this place for brothers to speak. And yeah, man,
Yeah,
take care of your self-care, whatever you can do, and definitely reach out to your folks.
that's real. That's real. I appreciate that. Yeah, the couple times that I went, I just saw all age ranges, all
Mm-hmm.
backgrounds. It was good to hear, yeah, for young men too to be there and listen to what some of the older men had to say on things. It's a positive thing. So definitely check this out and support this. If you are not going to be able to go, hit up Johnny No Good, see how you can support the Beyond the Stigma meetings that they have once a month for sure. Also coming up, Big Wade, Black Swan Theory, one of the best bands around, playing at the Jewel on Saturday. This is coming up on Saturday, so we'll get your weekend plans ready and let them know First Sky sent you. We'll be talking about this a little bit later on the show.
Yeah.
More is putting this is coming up today. As a matter of fact, 7 to 8 tonight. This will be live streamed. The Nebraska prison system and prison reform. Shout out to the brothers over there and more that are putting this together. We'll talk about this a little later on the show because we're gonna let you know some things about it. Also, this legal aid set aside and record sealing clinic is happening on Saturday, coming up from 9 to 12. So, people that got records that want to get sealed, this is kind of a clinic to show you how to do some of those things. Is an old criminal charge or conviction getting in the way of you finding housing, the job you want, public benefits, or education? Setting aside your conviction or sealing a dismissed criminal record may help. If you're interested, sign up for more information. So as you can see there, you can apply now at legalaidofnebraska.org.
Man,
Yeah, definitely check this out. This is coming up at the Heartland Workforce Solutions, 5752 on Ames, and this is happening on Saturday from 9 to 12. Clinic, check it out. Also, coming up here is the candidate fundraiser for some sisters over there on the South Side. Love Our Latinas candidate fundraiser is happening, meet and greet. And it's going to happen on Thursday. This is coming up in tomorrow, 26th, 5:30 to 7:30 at Clover 24, 2200 South 24th Street. Show some love and definitely show up and have a meet and greet. These are people that are running for office as well, and we definitely want to meet them, find out where they stand on certain issues and so on and so forth, and then tap in. We got to raise funds for people running, so that's what
man,
this is, a candidate fundraiser. Definitely check it out. And yeah, that's something that we wanted to make sure that we bigged up. Also, another community seed share is happening on the riverfront. This is something I just found right before the show. It's happening February 28th from 12 to 2 at the Jean Leahy Mall community space. Shout out to Councilwoman Lavanya Goodwin who posted this. Definitely check it out. There's a lot of seed shares going on right now. This is perfect time. Spring is coming. Get ready to grow some of that food, man, for real.
man,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Hey, that's gonna be the thing here coming up, man. Hey, grow your own foods, revolutionary.
it's totally revolutionary now. And there's a few more things that we want to talk about, but of course, first of all, I definitely want to give a rest in peace to power, man. Oliver Grant, who was integral in early Wu Tang situation, and he was the person that did Wu Wear. He's really the one that came up with Wu Wear, and he's a mogul. He was really a clothing mogul, and a early member, early supporter of Wu Tang. I don't know if you guys saw the Wu Tang bio series over there on
Man.
Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. According to reports, he's passed away. Power. Oliver Grant passed away. He was an American entrepreneur, producer, streetwear clothing mogul, and actor. His close associate of the hip hop group Wu Tang Clan. Grant executive produced all of the Wu Tang Clan albums. He was original founder and CEO of Wu Wear clothing line and stores.
Man.
So he was integral in their coming up. So rest in peace to him, man. Yeah, that's brother was 52, my age. I'm just like, man, rough.
Right.
This is something that I also want to big up too. Shout out to Edom Soul. If you don't know, if you've never heard Edom Soul do her thing, then you're really missing out. So I'm so glad to see that she's going to be performing. And also Riz the DJ is one of the DJs that is turning out to be one of my favorite DJs in town too. So shout out to Edom and Riz. This is called Black Planet. It's happening February 26th from 6 to 8 at the Mallory Kuntz Planetarium, which is, I think, a dope spot to be doing a DJ show. And
Yeah.
yeah, right? At the Durham Science Center, man, 6601 South University Drive Road in Nebraska, in Omaha. Definitely check this out. I'm very excited about seeing what they got going on, and two really dope artists
Yeah.
at a really cool sounding spot. Never been there yet, so but doing it at the planetarium, come on,
Man,
bro.
I can just imagine like listening to Adam on that ARP under the stars, her
Bro.
angelic voice. Man, yeah, yeah. Check that out if you can. Check it out.
Please do. And last but not, oh man, my windows jumped all over the place. Last but not
Uh-oh.
least, shout out to Marlon Harrison. First of all, he's been putting stuff in Friends of First Sky Omaha about Black history. This is something that is awesome. This is something right here that
Yeah.
had me hyped, so hyped. Shout out to this. He says for the first time ever, four Black male principals will lead four different OPS high schools all at the same time. Mr. Thomas Lee at Westview, Mr. Christopher Humphreys at Omaha North, Mr. Barry Thomas at Omaha Northwest, and Mr. Cedric Cooper in Omaha Benson. So check it out. Come on with it.
Man.
Come on
These
with
now
it.
these are some beloved brothers. Definitely shout out to one of my mentors, Mr. Thomas. Man, yeah, he was a teacher at when I was at Omaha North. So yeah, Omaha North alum. But yeah, man, shout out to them brothers.
Man, where else? I don't even know where else there four Black principals in close proximity like this. In anywhere in the country, it probably, I don't know. It's probably out there, but it just feels very rare that this is happening right now. And very proud of Omaha for that, for real, for real, for
Man,
real. That's what's up. Shout out Marlon Harrison letting us know on that, and and posting that too. Thank you. And that'll do it right now for the community updates. So there's some more stuff that's coming up. We'll save it for a little later on the show, but I definitely wanted to get to it. Shout out to everybody who's jumping in the chat right now. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning as
hey,
well. Yeah, appreciate that. I'm missing a lot. She said, "Yeah, buddy, it makes my heart very heavy when a person just can't see themselves on the other side of the pain." Boy,
man,
yeah, I appreciate that comment. Yep. Especially, I think it's really poignant that men are getting together to do it because I think men in this society are taught to really kind of hold their feelings in, and before you know it, they're in trouble.
man.
So. Yeah, shout out to Johnny No Good. Shout out to Beyond the Stigma for real. Good morning, Linda Lathan. Appreciate you coming in. Ray Vincent says, I have a garden space in North Omaha if anyone wants to help garden and maintain for a successful community harvest.
Okay,
That's what's up.
yeah,
Like you said, revolutionary act. Let's
man.
get with these seed shares and plant and get with some of these plots and plant some food and get in there together. Get in there together for real. It's gonna be ugly out here coming up. But speaking of ugly, we can't get out of here without showing this pothole. Bro,
Hey, I like how you did that. I like how you did that.
bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the video, but there's an actual video of them kind of pulling up to the stop and then just falling back into this hole. And I laughed for about 15 minutes, but because the two cars behind them stopped, paused. I don't know if they was gonna get out or what, but they were like, nah, they just slowly backed up. Just back. Two cars backing away had me dying laughing for some reason. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But the two cars in back of them was just slowly backed up, like, nah, we ain't falling in next.
Man.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it, but didn't the same thing happen downtown to that dump truck? Just fell in a sinkhole. Yeah, y'all got be careful out there, y'all. Be careful.
Wild. Wild. Tisa Harden gives us a good morning, beautiful people. Appreciate you. Also, Anthony Rogers Rice says John John's jacked up streets. Didn't he run on fixing sinkholes? Hey, yeah. He just started. Give him a chance to fix the holes.
Yeah,
And how do you account for that? How do you account for you just sitting somewhere and sinkhole just appears?
man.
Rough. Yeah, that was what's up. That sinkhole was something else. Heather Williams says pothole was pothole was on CNN this morning.
Dang, made national news.
And the downtown sinkhole is still there, like Mark Manor said. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fixed it yet.
yeah.
They ain't fixed it yet. So yeah, brother, you ain't got something to work on that.
Yeah, see how long this hole lasts.
I appreciate you guys coming on through. We'll jump into today's thread. Again, if you're just joining us, we're going to be speaking to former Senator Justin Wayne, who's doing some good work now and running for a new seat, and a few other things we got to talk to him about. So shout out to him for agreeing to come on this morning. Hope that he can. He was a little under the weather when I talked to him yesterday, so hope that he can make it. Yeah, come and have a conversation with us. But in the meantime, between time, buddy, what's kind of the thread for today? What are you feeling?
Yeah, a little bit. We kind of call Nebraska, Mississippi of the Midwest, if you will, called Pelin Trump Jr. But really seeing a connection between just what's happening in Nebraska and what's happening in the nation at large, kind of a microcosm, if you will. So with that said, again, I did not watch the State of the Union, but just kind of throw it out there. See a few people have thrown in their takes. Shout out to brother Anthony Rogers, right? Keep them coming. I am interested in, what happened. I am like most of you. It's kind of hard to watch the man when he speaks, but again, watching what Trump does kind of tips off, and as you can see, leads his way back to Nebraska sometimes. So we're going to talk about some of those things. Of course, been keeping an eye on the DACA situation, ICE standoff in Nebraska. Of course, a young DACA recipient has been illegally now held in Nebraska, but that saga has come to an end. So giving an update on that individual being released. Also, we've been talking about the connection between the Epstein situation, and people, of course, have been making connections to the Franklin Credit Union scandal and the Boys Town situation. And now the Epstein files and connections are literally making its way to Nebraska. A local politician and businessman has stepped down from his post due to connections to Epstein. So again, definitely I'm going to dive into that a little bit later on. Also looking at some development things, of course, as we mentioned, brother Wayne coming on, we talked about his petition that he put out. Speaking of connections to the Trump administration and the Pillen administration, again, petitioning for Pillen to call on Trump to get some of that tariff money back to help with property tax relief. And of course, there is a potential rise in property taxes as, again, homeowners may have to foot the bill for this $50 million shortfall from OPS. Definitely talk about that situation as we continue following the money this season. So yeah, we'll be diving into also in the second hour, looking at, speaking of following the money, some of these warehouse purchases, prison reform in general. There's also a documentary I want to point your attention to called The Alabama Solution. Again, a little strategic communication in our wheelhouse. So yeah, we're going to be talking about all that and more throughout the 2 hours here on the show. Of course, if there's anything that we're missing the mark on, not talking about, breaking news, feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Again, also would love to hear your takes if you watch the State of the Union address. Continue to just drop a few tidbits throughout the show. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
What's the word? What's the word?
Yeah, 7:24 already. If you believe in the concept of time, it's going to be a good Wednesday. Stay tuned. We'll be talking to former Senator Justin Wayne shortly. So stay tuned for that. Do us a favor, share the show on your page. We'll get as many people in the conversation as we can. There's a petition that he's got out, and so we're going to be talking about that and see if we can get some folks to get behind it. In the meantime, between time, we'll take a quick break and come back and jump into the conversation. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
Be right back, y'all. welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be buddy to God, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, and also monitoring spirits.
There you go.
Yeah, appreciate
Hey.
y'all coming through.
See
Yep. That's right. We see you. We see you in all the places as well. So shout out to you. Yeah. We shout out to Bill King, 95.7 The Boss. He has a different style, but he loves to bring some things to the attention of the people especially when it comes to our people, especially when it comes to what's going on in North Omaha. Again, we're going to always big up everybody who is in the media sphere, who's in the news gang, wants to uncover the things need to be uncovered. And you definitely don't forget about what's going on over there at 95.7 The Boss. Give them a shout out and give them a listen. And tap in as well, because they're tapped into the community too. And we are trying to be tapped in here to the community as well. So anything that you come up with that you think that we should be talking about. You there?
Okay. Speaking of tapped in.
Okay.
Oh.
I saw your hands up that time, so you didn't touch nothing. I didn't touch nothing either. All right. You know what it is? The powers that be.
Mm-hmm. Got your phone tapped. What you gonna do? Say the right word. It's the right word to do.
Mm-hmm.
Make it all stick like glue. Got you.
Hey. There you go. Michael Watts, yes. But, he said one of the best shows yesterday. Yeah, we saw you over there shooting shots. All good. All good, though. We're waiting on the Michael Watts show next, so get ready.
Hey.
We always gonna big up the news gang. That's what it is.
News
right
gang,
on,
news
right on. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the conversation, buddy. What's first on the agenda? I saw you pull something up. You want to show that?
Yeah. Of course, we kind of talking about and joking about the State of the Union and what he did talk about, what he touched on. But I want to kind of focus on what he didn't talk about. What I'm not hearing is a lot of talk about the. Wait, what's this?
Is that what you pulled up? Wrong thing?
Oh no, yeah. That's for later. That's for later.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. But yeah. What I want to focus on beginning the show. That's for later. What he didn't talk about, which was the Epstein files. Of course, we've been, and if you've been paying attention internationally, as far as the Epstein files, we've seen sultans step down, we've seen princes be arrested, we've seen business leaders step down from their position, but haven't seen much movement here in the United States. But the Epstein situation is reaching Nebraska. Of course, there's been some reports. I believe a shout out to Omaha Magazine, actually, for releasing their report on the Franklin Credit Union scandal and the Epstein situation and the connections to that. And now Channel 7 is reporting that former Nebraska Governor Bob Kerrey has resigned from Monolith board after Epstein ties have been discovered. Former Nebraska Governor and U.S. Senator Bob Kerrey, again, resigned from the company's board after an alleged connection to Epstein. Kerrey served as board chair for Monolith, a Lincoln-based energy company, which we've been talking about energy. So, files released by the Department of Justice show Kerrey emailed Epstein back in 2013 and 14. He said he resigned to help avoid any impact on the company's work. And Kerrey said he believes in the work that he's doing, calling on his resignation is a necessary step, saying we're producing carbon black at a much cleaner and more efficient fashion than anybody in the world. So it's an essential ingredient for American manufacturers. I'm very excited about it. I just don't want to do anything to mess it up. Again, Kerry's name appears several times in the Epstein files, according to the article. But many of the documents are conversations between third parties trying to coordinate schedules. That includes a meeting in February 2013, which Kerry said he did attend. Again, according to the AP, Epstein pled guilty, of course, to state charges of soliciting prostitution and soliciting prostitution from someone under the age of 18 back in 2008. And we all know, as some of the files have come out, that's just not even the tip of the iceberg. So, again, is there much to say about that?
Not surprised. I mean, not really. Don't have much to say about it. Monitoring spirits are watching, so I want to stay on the air right now. So,
that part. Well, let's keep it moving. And other connections to, again, what's going on with the Trump administration in Nebraska, the ICE situation. This coming out of Nebraska Examiner. Shout out to Cindy Gonzalez doing the good work. Nebraska DACA recipient. This has been a standoff that has been happening between ICE and courts now for a couple of months. The Nebraska DACA recipient, whom ICE had detained for nearly 3 months, mind you, illegally, has returned home to his Omaha family after an immigration court judge dismissed his deportation case. Joel Angel Basiro, again 27, was freed Friday due to his temporary and renewable protection under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. Court records show that the request to dismiss because of DACA actually came from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, which is interesting, which had placed him in deportation proceedings and held him in the Sarpy County Jail since early December. Angel Basiro was represented by the American Civil Liberties Union, of course, ACLU. See, the legal team says I'm walking into this new. Angel says I'm walking into this new chapter of my life with nothing but gratitude. This experience opened my eyes to how quickly lives can be disrupted, especially for those of us navigating this country under DACA. His case is just one story, of course, but he says I hope it sheds light on the ongoing injustices many families face and the urgent need for fairness, accountability, and reform, which is actually something we'll be talking about a little later on in the second hour, as far as just the need for prison reform in this situation, in this country, and of course Nebraska playing its role in that, as reminding you, one of the most overcrowded prison systems in the nation per capita. Again, big shout out to the ACLU for this work. Shout out to the senators who've been trying to keep an eye on the whole ICE situation in Nebraska. I know, Paul, you were talking about again how some is not just in Nebraska but from Minnesota and other areas around the nation, how they're being shipped to Nebraska for housing, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Lots
we've
of to talk about.
been hearing a lot about it. Of course, the one of the big things that happened last night I did see on the State of the Union was when Trump started talking about immigration, and some of the politicians shot it out at him, and there was some back and forth. You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed, and all that went down there because of what's been going on, and it's continuing on. Of course, we you can't really get away from that story because of how many things are connected and related to it. These quote unquote concentration camps that are being popped up and being built all over the place. Contracts to build these things. Where are they going to house? You know, what they're asking. They're thinking they need places to house all these what they are calling illegal immigrants. But if they're, this deportation is happening, then you got to ask the question, who they trying to fill these places with? And they're not slowing down. They're changing tactics. I just heard a report this morning too about ICE giving the authority to do high speed chases, even beyond what police can actually do when it comes to chasing people down. So yeah, it's nothing about that situation is slowing down. Things are getting worse there, and we do have to keep track on it, keep talking about it.
That's strategic communication. It's one of the lanes, so we'll definitely continue to keep our eyes on it. Of course, there's some more things to dive into in the second hour. That clip that you saw on the screen earlier is actually a trailer from a documentary we'll be talking about in the second hour. But before then, again, we do have our guest coming up here soon, and a couple of stories.
Actually, we just got a call from our guest. He is too sick. He's not going to.
Okay. Thank you for the heads up on that. Okay. Well, there's still a couple of other stories to dive into as far as development. I still do also want to reiterate his petition, kind of a call to action a little bit on that situation. So we are about 30 minutes in. What do you think about taking a break, cleansing the palate a little bit, and coming back and diving into a couple of local stories as far as housing and development? Of course, you kind of talked about housing in prison, but yeah, and man, there's an interesting meme going around as far as what you mentioned, the warehouses and how they can pay for all these warehouses, but still struggling to house the houseless and the homeless brothers and sisters. So again, we talking about some housing things on the other side of the break, and more. Of course, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo. Yeah, before we go there, just want to give a shout out to, we were saying, did you see part of that State of the Union address? Marlon Harrison in the chat said the only thing I know about last night's speech is that Senator Al Green got removed from the room. He had a sign that says black people are not apes. He was protesting that situation in a big way. Also, Anthony Rogers writes, says men who play a sport were given more love than women survivors who were the sport for ruling class pedophiles. The USA is sick.
Man,
Yeah, he spent a lot of time praising the Olympic team, is what I heard too as well. So, Rashad, thanks for the insights on that. Again, if you watched any of that State of the Union address last night, if there's anything that highlights that stood out for you, definitely let us know. Put it in the chat. We can kind of go over it. Like I said, some of us just couldn't watch it.
man.
Too tough. We'll be right back. Stay tuned for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All be buddy to God.
We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging. The ballot or the bullet. The ballot.
Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God. Thank you for joining us. We apologize. Our guest will not be showing up today, under the weather. Actually gave me a call last night. He was sounding pretty bad. So I was like, man, hope that you can take some medicine and be okay. So I can imagine how he must feel this morning, have to get up and deal with this tech. We'll have him on another time, but we'll definitely talk about his petition and a few other things. So just to recap, former Senator Justin Wayne will not be joining us this morning. He's under the weather. We'll have him on another time, and we'll be talking about that. We will be having special guests, Bree Fool, that's going to join us on Friday. And we'll be talking to her a little bit more about some of the things that's going on with the school district and these financial changes that they're trying to make that we have to dive into. So get your questions ready for that. She's on the school board. Brianna Fool will join us on Friday, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Also in the chat, Michael Watts said Hakeem Jeffries was very quiet during the address. I think Hakeem Jeffries was the one who started the address. He was one of the first speakers, and he's another one. I have a hard time listening. So let us know what Hakeem Jeffries had to say before the State of the Union yesterday as well. Mama God says stepped away. Check out ICE whistleblower confessional testimony. Chilling. You gotta tell us about that one. Yeah, love to hear that. Ariel's for.
Just thinking that's interesting that they would have that at the time of the State of the Union, just peculiar timing. ICE whistleblowers.
Right. Ariel's 402 says hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button if you're over on YouTube as well. Like and subscribe. Also, Christy Nor in the chat, good morning, says I didn't watch. I cannot stand them. It really is something, man. Like I've never had this kind of phenomenon. I usually can hear, a whole bunch of ignorant talk and don't really affect me. But something about him, I really have a hard time being able to listen to him and watch him speak. Like it is painful. It is painful. It is something else. Yeah. Oh, Anthony Rogers right said hence the nickname Apex Shakur. Yeah. Jeffries, let us know where he was standing on that. In the meantime, between time, let's jump in. I know we were supposed to be cleansing the palate of this, but I don't think there's going to be no cleansing of the palate anytime soon in this country right now.
Nah, and really it's all connected, man. You can't avoid it. We can't avoid the fact that it's all connected because yes, we're still talking about the State of the Union. And of course, one of the big features that Trump did talk about, he always kind of bloviates about the economy and how great it is and how it's set to boom and things like that. But the reality is families out there are still struggling. Excuse me.
We families.
That part, we families. So again, one of the markers that we continue to watch out for, of course, is the housing market. One of the gateways into financial, asset building and financial health is having property. And again, a barrier for a lot of families. But there is a new program coming out from Habitat for Humanity. Would definitely love to hear your takes on this as far as the battle for quote unquote affordable housing. That phrase still being used. I know a few of you chat chimers don't even like the phrase, but definitely love to hear your take on this project as we get into further conversations about property tax and again Senator Wayne's petition, former Senator Wayne's petition, excuse me. But again, this coming out of Papillion, Habitat for Humanity is bringing a new concept in quote unquote affordable housing to Papillion, and applications are now open for first time home buyers. So again, any of you out there looking for a home, interested in purchasing your first time home or moving locations, check this out. Let me know if you're interested. Again, applications are now open for 30 affordable row houses in Papillion's tall grass community. The row home design is intended to lower lot and home prices in a county where the average sale approaches about $350,000. And construction begins around Labor Day, and with completion expected in early 2027. So a fairly aggressive timeline. Again, the organization Habitat for Humanity is behind this, and they're developing the tall grass community near 72nd and Cape Heart Road, where 30 affordable homes, again, are being planned. The development is built around a row home design. And Ken Carr, who's the area director for Habitat for Humanity, said the development is aimed at workers who live and work in the same community. Ideal teachers and nurses that live within that $15 to $39 an hour salary range can fit and know they have safe, affordable housing, and that's what they are trying to do. So again, applications are open. Applicants who are approved will be enrolled in an education program designed to help them become mortgage ready. Habitat for Humanity also offers down payment assistance to qualifying buyers. You can click on the link we'll post in the chat here soon. But the Tallgrass community, again, is part of a larger Oak Leaf development, which is a mixed income development. We've been seeing a lot of that popping up lately, apparently connected to an elementary school with 1,000 homes. So again, more development. Interested?
Yeah, I don't know about row houses though. That evokes an old memory of mine of a certain style of home. I have to see what they got going on here for modern row houses. Yeah, we can always talk about the situation of whether or not. I mean, we always are feeling like ownership is a key to a lot of things, and of course there's a housing crisis. So there's people that need housing. There's also opportunities. I also heard a little bit about the market and how it's changing up a little bit as well. So this might be moving into a good time to buy if you're in the position to. So yeah, it's interesting how there's more development happening all the way around. And it's interesting to find out what Habitat has to do with it. How some of these other organizations have to do with this. All of it's new to me. This new community, this new kind of community with houses around an elementary school. This is all kind of new information for me, so I'd have to kind of dig into it and see what's going on there. But I don't know. I think right now we're really more concerned with houseless brothers and sisters and as we've been talking about and been learning about, shout out Tamara Dwyer over at the mayor's office about, when we say houseless, we got to remember the people that are hopping couches, sleeping at friends' houses, sleeping in their car, all the different places that all the different meanings of what it means to not have a home and kind of be in trouble. I know folks and friends that had to move back with family that they don't get along with. All kinds of situations are going on there where it's hard to get people to be able to have some homes, and that's always going to be a thing. So we can't really talk about that without tying it to jobs, economy. Are you able to afford? Do you have a living wage where you can pay a rent? It's all connected for sure.
Exactly. A couple of chat chimers, definitely his sister Tamara Dwyer saying thank you for talking about this. I appreciate you for chiming in. Anthony Rogers Wright also saying low and moderate housing is not a job of nonprofits; it's the job of governments. Which that's interesting. It's an interesting take. But this is right. I mean, I often ask, what is the point of government? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? But it is a model that is kind of replicating, if you remember, the Blue Stem Prairie situation, the former Wintergreen Apartments.
Oh yeah,
Mayottes Apartments. Again, Habitat for Humanity was kind of behind that, alongside I believe front
Mm,
porch.
okay.
So again, this is a similar situation looking like to me, and I am curious if anybody has interacted or applied or looked at some of those houses again in the old Marriott's, old Marriott situation, Wintergreen area, just off of like 52nd and Sorensen, kind of by Wakanda. And yeah, if anybody knows of any stories of anybody applying for those houses, what is the real situation? Wanda Lewis also in the chat says Habitat nearly gridlocked in North Omaha, have to branch out. Okay.
Mm,
I will say back when we were looking at the land bank, when we were kind of going into the land bank and seeing what, properties or what organizations or individuals were actually getting the bulk of those properties, it was Habitat for Humanity. So as far as when we talk about development, housing, kind of does behoove us to pay attention to what's going on to Habitat for Humanity. And I do kind of want to hear more about, what Anthony Rogers Wright is saying as far as governments being responsible for housing. And Tamara, your thoughts on that?
for low and moderate housing. It's interesting. Yeah, definitely want to hear more. Yeah, and then also, of course, we had on Brother Don Curry recently. If you missed that interview, find that on YouTube. But he's a local developer, so there's also local development going on too, which is what we've been kind of concentrating on a little bit more than some of these bigger projects.
Mm-hmm.
Local development, of course, we need to when we get into local development talk, we're gonna have to talk about this, and maybe we can save this for the second hour. But we're gonna have to dig into some local development and local developers they're holding a lot of properties in North and South Omaha that trying to
Mm.
find out what it is that's going on with those issues. But yeah, this is we've been concentrating on that a little bit more than these bigger projects. But these bigger projects are popping up and happening all around us too. So and yeah, what you're saying, Brother Anthony Rogers, right? I definitely am interested in this too, because we talk about this all the time, and there's so many things we can say that about. There we do live, especially in this state, in this kind of nonprofit world where nonprofit organizations are trying to pick up the slack, or they're supposed to be picking up the slack for all these things that a lot of us think the government ought to be handling, and of course we live in a state where most people think that government shouldn't be handling nothing. Everything should be private.
Mm.
That's tough. So we'll see. He's also saying in the chat, Bill Clinton and the Democrats prohibited the federal government from building public housing with the Faircloth Amendment. Never heard of the Faircloth Amendment. Nonprofits can supplement government but not replace it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Supplement is the thing, but I feel like especially here, it's real easy, and I wonder if this is the case in other states, in other really red states like this is. If there's such a nonprofit organization community in those states as well,
Hmm.
picking up all the slack everywhere for them to be able to have small government, which is I feel like what they want. So yeah, very interesting stuff. I appreciate you guys chiming in on that. We'll definitely keep our eye on that. The housing is absolutely connected.
Yeah. Yeah. And Tony Johnson kind of teamed me up for the next thing.
Oh yeah.
As far as property taxes, definitely connected.
Mm-hmm. As long as the property taxes are being paid, the city's not as concerned with property being held. That's interesting. Okay.
Which might be a challenge. Again, Anthony Rogers Wright saying government should make it easier for housing, but in this next article might be making it a little harder for people in housing as far as this $30 million shortfall for OPS and the potential of rising property taxes. So yeah, I'm not sure if you want to dive into that, jump into a break.
Yeah, let's
What
go
you
to
thinking?
it. Go to it. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll call it.
Omaha Public Schools again is facing actually a $50 million budget shortfall heading into next year, and property owners could end up paying more to help close the gap. The district has released its preliminary budget, which will keep overall spending around $850 million, roughly the same as this year. But again, at the center of the shortfall is a $30 million error by the Nebraska Department of Education in its funding formula, which leaves some residents on the hook. And some are saying that local taxpayers should not be on the hook for the state's mistake. And Doug Kagan with the Nebraska Taxpayers for Freedom said at a board meeting on Monday, it was the state's fault in the formula. So that gave OPS a deficit right there. But OPS has another problem, and that is it spends too much money. Again, under the proposed budget, the property tax levy could rise from 96 cents per $100 to $1.05 for a home valued at $100,000. That could mean an increase from $960 per year in annual property taxes to $1,050, which is an additional $90 per year. The district is also projecting long-term budget growth, with spending expected to approach $1 billion, but the budget will not be finalized until September. And of course, property tax relief is something that the governor has been, trying to fight, and of course we've been seeing him robbing Peter to pay Paul. Not you, Paul, but
He's trying to rob me. That's for sure.
yeah, there you go.
Taking programs away from people, and that's the only thing that we've seen be the initiative here is to cover what's going on in the state by taking programs away from people that need it. So yeah, literally
The most vulnerable. So again, definitely for you homeowners out there, I know a few of you have testified, or kind of said that your property taxes are going up, some doubling, tripling. I want to know, again, $100 a year don't sound like too much, but what's the reality? Michael Watts think is going to be worse than that in the chat. He says, not potential, higher taxes are coming. So,
yeah, for sure. And this is something. This has definitely been a problem. I know homeowners as well, even in my family that own homes that are saying that very, very exponential growth in how much the property taxes are. It's been a thing. We've been hearing the governor for a long time now saying that he's trying to do something about it. All sides feels like they're trying to do something about it. All got different ideas on how to do that, of course. I remember some of the initiatives they were pushing, for certain things like hemp and all kinds of other things that can be grown here that could be potential ways to increase the money. It seems like sometimes the leadership is thinking about taking things away, and that's how you do it. You either save money, or you either go put your efforts in making more money in order to solve these problems, or you put your efforts into pulling money away from other things to solve the problem. Again, two different ideologies on how to tackle some of these things, but everybody understands that for whatever reason, the property taxes and stuff are going up, and that's been a hardship on people that own homes, period. So, yeah. Interesting. Mama God says, I thought I saw info that said 9 cents at $100 in value.
Nope, 90.
90 cents. Wow.
Actually, 96 cents per $100 of assessed property value, and it's going up to $1.05. Excuse me, $1.05.
Anthony Rogers Rice says they're going to use data center tax incentives as rationalization to build more in Omaha and Nebraska. Buckle up and be prepared. Yet tax incentives is the other thing. I often think about tax increment financing and how there's so much growth that happens, or so much building that happens there using TIF. And of course that means that area is not going to get taxes for a while. And I can't see how that's not related to how these taxes get raised. Property taxes get raised. And of course we know, as far as the school system is concerned, shout out to Brianna Fool, who will be joining us on Friday for this conversation. But it's still the majority of the money that the school needs comes from taxes. And so when people are fighting for the taxes to get lower, that means less money will go to schools, especially in the neighborhoods that the schools are having a hard time in the first place. And then, of course, this big mistake that just happened with the schools that they're trying to compensate for. I can't see any of these taxes going down anytime soon either. And kind of agree with what's being said here.
Yeah, and on the issue of the incentives, kind of the big takeaway from Monday from our conversations with the senators is the difference between the incentives and credits. Again, you heard about the tax credit connected to school choice, and there's supposed to be a tax credit with that situation, learning that the credits are refunded on the back end. The incentives, tax incentives, which again, it has been reported recently that $1.2 billion in lost revenue has gone out in tax incentives to companies that don't have any employees in the state, or any employees at all in some cases, according to the report. Again, $1.2 billion going out, paid up front to these companies. And here we are talking about property taxes. So yeah, following the money, a definitely interesting situation. There is an ongoing audit with that. So we'll definitely continue to follow the money and keep our eyes on that situation. But yeah, as you mentioned, it's all connected.
As a matter of fact, we were supposed to have former Senator Justin Wayne on today. He called just a little while ago and said that he's under the weather and can't make it. We'll have him on another time. But he had a petition. He has a petition out right now on some changes that's being made in order to put money right into that situation when it comes to property taxes as well. And as a matter of fact, that's we were hoping to talk to him about this a little bit. But he has a demand Nebraska be reimbursed for unlawful tariffs, which is when we talk about things being connected. It's really a trip because, of course, we heard all about tariffs last night. If you listen to the State of the Union address from the president, he says use it for property tax relief is what he's saying. This should happen. So he says the issue is Nebraska families are struggling under the high property taxes while costs keep rising after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down President Trump's sweeping tariffs imposed under IEEPA. Nebraska taxpayers deserve accountability. This petition calls on Governor Pillen and Nebraska legislature to demand Nebraska be reimbursed for the cost of those unlawful tariffs and dedicate any recovered funds to property tax relief for homeowners, farmers, and small businesses. So this petition that he's putting out, and I'll go ahead and put a link in there too if you want to read more about that petition and sign it. I'll put that in the chat right now. But this petition is an interesting thing to me because it's timely. Of course, a lot of people are wondering whether or not they're going to, now that the Supreme Court decided that those tariffs were illegal, whether or not they're going to come back and be like, where's my money? Where's all the money that I've spent on tariffs? Then I should probably get back since it was illegal for you to put those tariffs on. Of course, there's more to it than that. He's applying 15% tariffs again for the next 120 days or whatever the time frame is.
150.
150 days. But yeah, this is something that's timely because it's happening in the country. But also, this petition is to deal with it in our state, and then there's a solution with that. Not just where's the money, but put the money where you're working right now to try to help and cover, which is property taxes. Put the money there, and then there won't be a problem there. Then services and stuff for the marginalized folks will not be taken away. Your property taxes can stay lower. Your everything, it's a solution to decide get that money and put it there. Now, of course, we've talked about this already. We know that if that were to happen, it would be a process. It would take a while for that to get there. First of all, you got to go through the courts and do everything you got to do to try to get the money back in the first place. So it's not a right now solution, but the point is, who's thinking of things in order to solve the problem without taking away right now from areas that don't need to be taken away from. It's just kind of discouraging to hear the list of things that they are planning that he's putting out there to do in order to fix this state problem. I think Senator Ashley Spivey was running it down. Some of the things, or actually it was Senator Michaela Cavanaugh that was running it down at a previous show, and was letting us know. And it was just like, wow, is there anything? Is there any ideas on how to make more money for the state and not just take money away from use money that's already earmarked for things to it's a trip.
I mean, you called it. I talked about it. I think I mentioned this. You had this pushback on Monday when I said as far as Trump's economic plan not working it for anybody, and you was like, nah, it's working for them.
He's working for somebody.
Yeah, it's working for the billionaires out there. And I think actually I appreciate Anthony Rogers Wright comment earlier about Trump's State of the Union and who that really was for and who he was talking to. He says, if you're being dialectical, you have to see what Trump did as a success to re-energize his base and put himself on the ballots in 2028. It was all the right-wing meat and touch of populism. So again, the rich getting richer, and we'll kind of talk about some of the investments. We've been talking about it, but really want to dive into this mass investment in these warehouses and where some of this money is going, because again, just like we're seeing Pillen rob Peter to pay Paul, and of course we're seeing Trump defund education, defund health care, defund all of these things, and again now all of this money is going into these warehouses. So we'll definitely be talking about that more in the second hour. In the meantime, I think I see the chat still going off. What you thinking? We can close to actually end of the first hour.
Yeah, we're into the first hour. 8 o'clock right now, if you believe in the concept of time, and if you're in Omaha, Nebraska, and it is 8 o'clock, we're going to jump into the second hour and have some more discussion. Again, we were talking about the State of the Union address yesterday. If anybody saw it, a lot of people in the chat already said we didn't see it. We can't hear him.
Man.
Pops in the chat earlier said, when I hear Trump speak, my mind wanders to the Batman movie where Jack Nicholson's playing the Joker and said, "This town is enema." That's funny. That's very specific, Pops. Very interesting indeed. We'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll jump back into the chat and jump back to the conversation. Thanks for joining us and sticking with us. If you were here to speak with former Senator Justin Wayne, he will not be making it. Just give us a call and said that he's under the weather and will not be making it today. So we'll have to have him on another day. But stay tuned. We got more discussion to come. It's going down. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God.
Black. One move, we move. Just like that. Just black. One move, we move. Just like that.
Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God.
Hey.
All of you chat chimers. I appreciate you guys coming in this morning. Definitely love to discuss some of these things. I figured that there would be a lot said about what you heard last night, but I don't know if a lot of people listened to the State of the Union. Sat up for the 2 hours doing it. I know Precious McKesson did because I was watching her feed and the feedback she was giving about it. But yeah, I tried 3 times and just could not continue to. I think the emotions that come up too is just tough, but also I don't know, man. There's so many things against it. It's just hard. Like I'm actually surprised in myself sometimes because I'm just like, I can't even listen to this. I can't do it. I'm usually not like that. I can put up with a whole lot of ignorant talk or whatever. Like, doesn't, I stay in my own mind. It doesn't bother me as much. But for some reason, the reaction that I have to it, and this is not new. This has been a while. I remember saying this when we first started this show like 5 years ago.
The first administration.
Can't even listen. I can't even hear it. Can't even listen.
What we called it, the Trump effect?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. That's part of the Trump effect. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me. It has to be. Like I've said, this would all be laughable. This would all be funny if the stakes weren't so high. And it'd be easy to just be like, I can't watch that guy. Whatever he says. If the needle wasn't moving so much based on what he says.
So true. In the chat, Pop says $1 million house in Omaha would be paying property taxes of $1,400 to $1,800 per month right now before taxes would be increased. That's crazy. I don't know how many $1 million. I guess there's a few $1 million houses out there, but yeah, that's a good round number to kind of see what the situation is. Tisa Harden in the chat said earlier, she says put on as Trump, but she meant Pillin. Pillin is a Trump guy. He won't demand anything from his booty boss. She said he doesn't know how to tell the truth. Very hard to listen to lie after lie after lie. It's not just the lies. It's not just what he's saying. It's how he's saying it. It's the attitude. It's the tone of the voice. All the things, man. There is nothing entertaining at all about it to me, or at all. Like, it's not even entertaining. Like, there's nothing. it's just cringe. It's really cringe. It really is. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody's comments in here. We'll definitely dive into some more thoughts on this. The second hour is for us to kind of get loose a little bit with some of the comments and talk about how we feel about some of this news. where we stand, and also get to some solutions. That's kind of the premise of the second hour for us now too, as we evolve the show. We evolve the show into the parts that we get to get down to some solutions on some things and try to figure out what it is we're going to do about some of this stuff. But we still got a few more things to dive into and talk about, so we definitely can do that. And I'll leave it up to Buddy to move into that area there. But keep them coming. Want to hear your thoughts in the chat. For those of you that that are in and out, just know that you can go to Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page on Facebook. That's where the chat continues when we're not live. So you can constantly, every day, throw some things in there that we would like to check out, some articles that you think we need to be talking about, some news you think we need to be discussing. Love to hear from you.
That's a toss up?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh.
It was kind of a lob. It was just kind of a little.
Yeah, kind of a lob, but I do appreciate it. Again, thank y'all for tuning in here in the second hour. As Paul mentioned, this is kind of a time to get loose. But also tie up some of the loose ends, if you will, of the things we've been talking about today, as far as the connection between Nebraska and kind of using that as a microcosm to see what's happening nationally, and specifically want to talk about prison and prison reform, and really, as I mentioned, again, it's hard to watch what Trump is doing. It's hard to continue watching the news, but we have to pay attention because real things are happening, especially in the sense of these warehouses that are coming up. By all means, looking like concentration camps. So let's go ahead and dive into it. This is from a nonprofit news organization, Common Dreams. U.S. military helping Trump build a massive network of concentration camps. Again, in the wake of immigration agents killing, of course, 3 U.S. citizens and more on Sunday. Pablo Manrique, who's the author of the immigrant news site Migrant Insider, calls out a nationwide ghost network of concentration camps. Again, talking about a massive Navy contract. A vehicle once valued at $10 billion has ballooned to a staggering $55 billion, ceiling expedited pardon yourself, by President Trump's mass deportation agenda. In this expansion of a contract first reported on back in October by CNN, which found that DHS was funneling $10 billion through a Navy contract to help facilitate the construction of this sprawling network of migrant detention centers across the U.S. in an arrangement aimed at getting the centers built faster, according to sources in federal contracting documents. The report describes the money as being allocated for quote-unquote new detention centers, which are likely to be primarily soft-sided tents and may or may not be built on existing Navy installations. According to the sources familiar with the initiative, DHS has often leaned on soft-sided facilities to manage influxes of migrants. However, according to the source familiar with the project, quote-unquote, the goal is for facilities to house as many as 10,000 people each and are expected to be built in Louisiana, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Utah, and not too far from Nebraska and Kansas. Now, Manrique reported that the project has just gotten much bigger after a Navy grant was repurposed weeks ago. It was authorized through the Worldwide Expeditionary Multiple Award Contract, which is a flexible purchasing system that government uses to quickly move military equipment to dangerous and remote parts of the world. However, it's not being used for any remote locations. It's being used domestically. The contract states that the money is being repurposed for a territorial integrity of the United States. While it's not unusual for Navy contracts to be used for such aims at protecting the nation, Manrique warned that such a staggering movement of funds for domestic detention points to something ominous. He's saying this $45 billion increase published just weeks ago converts the U.S. into a geographic region for expeditionary military style detention. It signals a massive long-term escalation in the government's capacity to pay for detention and deportation logistics. In the world of federal contracting, it is the difference between a temporary surge and a permanent infrastructure, which again brings about the questions that we've been seeing with these rampant warehouse purchases. If the plan is to deport millions of people, why invest in these permanent infrastructures?
It's a good question, especially because we've been hearing rumors about some of the things that's going to be in those permanent structures as well. Biohazard incinerators, they're saying it's going to be also built. as well. So if that don't sound like some concentration camp stuff, I don't really know. Again, we're definitely looking into finding all the sources that we can about this, because they've been keeping it a lot quiet. As a matter of fact, some of the people that are talking about this right now are saying, why hasn't mainstream news really jumped on this? And I kind of understand why. They want to kind of keep that low. And with me just really thinking about what this means, first of all, this map came from Bloomberg. This is a graphic that talks about how ICE is pivoting to warehouses. We've been talking about warehouses for the past couple of weeks now, and how ICE has been going around buying warehouses. Some states and some warehouse owners have declined to sell because of the understanding what's going on here. They're buying these massive warehouses in order to house all these immigrant people that they're rounding up, and for it to jump from that much to from 10 million to 55 million, and for the Navy to be the ones that are building it, is also a trip to me. Is a trip that the Navy's going to help build these things. So that's not just ICE. It's not just our law enforcement. That's not just that's not just our National Guard is always being threatened to be called in, and anybody marching in the streets, but also the Navy is involved here as well. So yeah, it's something we really can't ignore. We really have to pay attention to what's really happening here. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. And also this is the follow the money season as well, which has got me really thinking about that part. Why are these detention centers popping up? We already kind of talked about the how much money they get for each detainee they bring in. That's what's going on with the Cornhusker Clink out here, and then of course there's other other people that are being shipped down from Minneapolis that are coming to Nebraska as well. We reported on that as well. They're coming into the prison system. Here's an article here that talks about an owner of a Michigan ICE detention center reported $254 million profit last year. Money is being made on these things, and so to see how many more are being popped up quickly before anybody can really even talk too deeply about them is really concerning. And then, of course, like I said, these other reports that we're having about some of the things that are money's being spent on for the Navy to build these sites, biohazard incinerators and all kinds of other stuff. Very concerning. What say you, buddy?
I mean, it's kind of been writing on the wall. I mean, as we are looser in the second hour, if you remember, there was reports several years ago about FEMA having investments in plastic coffins.
Mm-hmm.
There's locations throughout the country where there's sites of thousands and thousands of plastic coffins being just stacked. The report is that they're for natural disasters and things like that, but when you take in consideration that FEMA is a part of the Department of Homeland Security is backing and bankrolling what we're seeing with ICE, you start to connect some dots. And I also appreciate what Anthony Rogers Wright is saying as far as just the reality of what we're dealing with. And again, it's hard to watch Trump. It's hard to take it serious, but the reality is we have to. Again, Anthony Rogers Wright says, if we only focus on Trump, we fail to focus on the system that created him in the first place, which is something you mentioned a lot, Paul. He says Trump is nothing more than a profound manifestation of what the USA has always been, which is a slave colony. Let's just call it what it is. This country was built on slavery. Even after the emancipation, you had a proliferation of incarceration in the 13th Amendment. Jim Crow hasn't really changed. And mind you, speaking of Jim Crow, a lot of people like to compare what is happening, to Nazism and the concentration camps, even what we're talking about as far as these warehouses being called concentration camps. No, they're plantations. Let's actually call them what they are. Plantations. That's what they are. And this is what we're witnessing. Government sanctioned plantations. Because these prisoners they're also, some of them are working. Free labor. A system of human trafficking being reiterated, redeveloped, using our tax dollars, mind you. We're paying for it.
We've been talking about it when it comes to our prison system for a while. You know, as a matter of fact, there's still talk. We're still out here talking about prison reform. Shout out to Moore, the group over there at Moore, that's going to have a discussion here on today from 7 to 8 on Facebook, Zoom, and free via Zoom and Facebook Live. You can go to moreomaha.org to register. But they're going to be talking about Nebraska prison system and prison reform today. And we've been talking about that for a while. It seems like there's such a ramp up now because of what the ICE facilities are being an extension of that in a bigger way. Yeah. And it just is a trip to me that the U.S. military is helping to build this massive network of concentration camps. That's one of the things that I think is wild, that it's the Navy that's going to be building these. And just, you know, where they're going to be popping up at, and how fast they're being deployed, and the things that we're not even finding out about the details of this stuff fast enough as they're popping up. And again, where are they going to put all these? They're knocking on doors to find people.
Man,
they're knocking on doors. They're knocking on people's doors to find people. So, you know, it seems like they're building a very massive situation for a very small number of individuals they think they're going to be deporting. How many people are in this country illegally in the first place? Seems like they probably got all of them out already. Where are they putting them? There's a whole lot of folks that ain't reaching the places that they're talking about deporting them to. They're just sitting in camps, sitting in detention centers. What are they doing with them?
Not to mention the thousands that people don't know where they're at all. Just poof.
I saw an article yesterday about a young kid that got taken, and then he would disappear for a while. Family couldn't find him. He popped up in some kind of Christian camp in the middle of the country.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. The point is that nobody knows what they're doing with these folks, and they're making all these camps out here, this kind of black site type of situation, and so that you'll continue to not know exactly what's happening with folks. That's been one of the biggest gripes that people have, is that they don't even know where their family members are when they get taken.
And again, going back to Brother Anthony Rogers' point, the scary part is all of this is nothing new. This is literally just an extension of the prison system that already exists. You talked about Moore having their event. Again, Nebraska has its issues, still overcrowding, severe overcrowding, one of the most overcrowded prison systems in the country, in Nebraska, a federal overcrowding emergency. I'm going to keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it until something is done about it, because, you know, we often don't really know about the realities behind these prison walls. But again, what's happening in Nebraska is just a microcosm of what's happening in this nation in general. And how can we combat it? Again, this is something that we're trying to do here on the show, to talk about, again, how can we do something about the things that we're talking about here. And for us, one of the biggest things is strategic communication, exposing, putting the camera, talking about it, being brave enough to speak the truth about what's going on. And again, as we kind of get into the back end of the show, want to talk about this documentary that just came out on HBO called The Alabama Solution, which is a documentary focusing on the Alabama prison system through the eyes of incarcerated leaders like Robert Earl Council and Melvin Ray, again, brothers who are currently behind bars using phones, footage and things like that to, again, talk about the realities of what they're dealing with. Again, the documentary premiered at the Sundance Film Festival early last year and was released on HBO Max back in October. The runtime is about, excuse me, the runtime is 1:15. The film received an Academy Award nomination for Best Documentary. I wanted to show a quick trailer about this really quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Can't hear that. Cover up all the drug addiction.
Man needs help, for real. Addiction is real.
And the atrocities, the corruption.
Look at this. The riot came They just be supposed to. See that? Man, that man bloody. Damn, man.
When you hear Department of Corrections, you think about an institution where people are going to classes, people are getting treatment, people are doing things towards correction. But that's nothing close to what's going on behind the walls of the ADOC.
We don't know if he dead or not.
They don't want the public to see the conditions they hear.
Man,
Again, it's hard to see, but if we don't see it, what do we do about it? How can we do about it? How do we know? How do we get emboldened to do something about it? And again, this is an extreme situation, but it's not an anomaly as far as, again, the prison population. And I've been saying it. It's slavery. America has never gotten away from its bloodlust and thirst for slavery. And what we're seeing now with ICE and all of it is just a ramping up of it. Let's just be honest about it. So again, as far as what we can do about it, there's 7 lanes that we've been laying out. Of course, one of the first lanes is strategic communication. A shout out to the documentarians behind this, Andrew Jurechecki and Charlotte Kaufman. Again, this is available on HBO Max. If any of you want to read it or watch it, I know some of that imagery was disturbing. But again, this is the reality that some of us have to deal with, unfortunately.
and on a local level, of course, we can't tell you enough about how many people are on this. Shout out to the brothers over there at Moore who are going to be talking about it today at 7:00. Nebraska prison system and prison reform. Of course, we have senators. Senator Terrell McKinney, who's been in that fight for several years now, trying to push for prison reform. Former Senator Justin Wayne has been somebody else that's been on that tip. Now Senator Ashley Spivey is on that. They make regular trips to the prisons to see to talk to people and see about conditions and to understand more of what's going on as well. And they're always in the legislature trying to push laws that would help, that would ease up some of the strain that happens when not just on overcrowding, but on conditions. And now I feel like now if they're finding themselves in this fight, this is a law and order time of life right now where they are trying to lean on this rule of law, and they have ramped up things even beyond law enforcement in the prison system. And they got a whole new army out here with ICE. They got a whole new prisons being built and being popped up, what they're calling kind of temporary prisons. A lot of these are kind of tent prisons as well, but they're also doing stuff like buying up warehouses all over the place, creating more prisons. Like if you can think about it like that, like we thought about the private prison system years ago and talked about how to ramp that down, and then all of a sudden within a year, it's ramped up tenfold in this other form. Concerning. Wanda Lewis in the chat says, "Who remembers the FEMA cartoons when people were lined up to get inoculated before COVID hit, and it became a reality? They were using Walmart stores, etc., turning them into FEMA camps." When you said that about FEMA earlier, about remembering what they were building, that's what I was thinking about too. We were talking. I remember saying the word concentration camp out in Iowa that was based around some this FEMA facility. And that was what we were talking about back then. It was like 5 years ago. So this is and we've been wondering what's been happening with that. It moved slow in the last 5 years. And this last year is ramped up because they figured out a way. Let's pull in ICE. Let's turn this to an immigration situation, and now we can build all these things. And the question remains: who are they going to put in? Who are they going to put in them? ICE is here to deport the people that aren't supposed to be in this country. When they get done doing that, what do they need all these facilities for? Who do they need them for? We've already heard them talk about imprisoning their political opponents.
Man,
we've already heard them talk about deporting indigenous people. To where? Where are you going to import indigenous people? We hear this stuff all the time, and I mean to the point where they've imprisoned journalists. Don Lemon getting you know what I'm saying? Like they're not limited to what it is they say they want to do with this, which first of all, is problematic in the first place. Immigration issue, locking people up, detaining them indefinitely, having rules of law where they can detain them indefinitely. The courts having to fight for them to let people out. Anybody in the chat, anybody, ghost listeners, anybody listening that feels like this is close to home? Do you know anybody, any family members, any friends that personally that have been dealing with this? I know that we have a couple of chat chimers that have gone up to Minneapolis to the protest and seen firsthand what's happening. What about in Nebraska? Anybody in Nebraska see how things have ramped up here and what's going on here as well? Are we just preparing for it? Like where are we at? Love to hear from you on that.
Yeah, definitely strategic. The 7 lanes of change is kind of where we are, starting with strategic communication. But of course, the 6 to dismiss campaign is something that we're pushing, and still, continuing to speak to the senators about legislation. Of course, there's been some things. Speaking of housing and detention, of course, paying attention to what's happening with these homeless bills and basically criminalizing homelessness, and where are they going to be housed? And which is interesting too, the fact that again, all of this money for these warehouses and we have this homeless situation. Like, it's almost mind-boggling how you can't, like, how do you justify that argument?
We just put 2 and 2 together because they're criminalizing homelessness. So that's an answer to the question: who's going to be in them camps? Who's going to be in these jails? They're also at the same time doing sweeping people up off the street like that.
Which again goes back to, the whole immigration thing. Like, if you're homeless, which goes back into the voting thing. We haven't really talked much about the SAVE Act, but if you're homeless, probably don't have a birth certificate. Probably, especially if you're getting wrapped up in these sweeps where bulldozers are just coming through and taking all your stuff, putting it in the trash, just dozing it over, running it over, destroying all your stuff. I'm pretty sure people are losing their birth certificates. Pretty sure people are losing their documentation that proves they're citizens. So the idea that homeless people will be getting wrapped up in this is actually not too far-fetched as far as ICE goes.
Tamara Dwyer in the chat, good morning, is saying involuntary commitment. They are trying to make that easier to do and will need places to put those people to. Just exactly what we're saying.
What is involuntary commitment? Is that just people? Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, let us know. Anthony Rogers right in the chat. There's been preparation and there are national trainers coming in to help shore up the lack of organizing skills in Omaha for there to be anything close to what we saw in Minneapolis. Got it. He says part of the organizing is honesty. And we have to be honest, organizing in Omaha has been limited to holding up signs on 72nd and Dodge. Car honks do not lead to justice or systematic change. You ain't lying about that. Definitely feel like we're past the awareness piece is what I really kind of feel like that. People, if we're out here protesting and putting signs up, then we're letting people know where we stand on things. But after you let people know where you stand, what do? And I think we're definitely there. So yeah, deep one. Shout out. Speaking of people with signs and people out kind of doing the good work. Shout out to Paul Philman. He's been getting a lot of love lately, especially from mainstream news as well. He says I'm expanding my vigil at 72nd and Dodge. Speaking of 72nd and Dodge, interest to the Petco. He says to include a sign addressing the moral issues raised by the purchase of massive warehouses around the country to house immigrants detained by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. Says, I plan to hold this vigil indefinitely, weekdays 7 a.m. to 5:30. And there's a link there that's talking about his efforts as well that you can check out. We'll put that in. It's in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Check that out. But yes, we need to, of course, this is a start. Shout out to Paul Williams. I feel like doing the good work on that. Definitely showing us that you need to also have some communication and let people be aware, let them know where you stand and so on. This is very true as well. And I think especially for Paul Philman and the church group and stuff that he's associated with, I think for there is an element of awareness that some people in our community need to still understand and see. And so a shout out to him for spending his time here as well. But he doesn't just do the vigil. He also is out here working and advocating and pushing for change and talking to the politicians, talking to business owners. He's kind of doing the good work out here as well to try to move the needle a little bit more than just keep a vigil out here with these signs. But yes, it is to me the beginning of the action, and there needs to, and there needs to be some continuation of the action. Is where I was going with that. Tamara Dwyer says mental health commitment like board of mental health. Okay.
Kind of like being Baker acted.
Involuntary commitment. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Anthony Rogers Rice says we are in the process of localizing the demands, and these demands will be presented to the mayor soon and hard.
Okay.
Is anything going to be presented to the governor? That's who I'm more concerned with.
That's a good question. Good question.
Lynn Mills in the chat. Good morning. Says my recent experience at the Capitol was incredible. There's something about watching our senators fight for basic human rights. I came away with a renewed sense of hope.
Okay.
Can't stress enough to get down to the legislature and be a part of that process for sure.
Yeah. As we're kind of talking, I'm looking for a semblance of an answer as far as what we can do in the face of this mass incarceration fight that we're in. And unfortunately, a lot of it is legislation based. A lot of it, is the laws that are written that all aim towards filling these prisons, and we got to know, who's benefiting from that financially when we're following the money. So again, the 6 to dismiss is kind of definitely something we need to be pushing, especially talking about the run of Sister Michaela Danner as far as the local connection. Again, how many people, has I can't even think of his name. Klein.
All you gotta do is think.
Yeah. How many people has he locked up or kind of let walk in some other cases? So again, definitely legislation. But if anybody else has any ideas on organizing around these issues, let's continue to talk about it. That's a part of the strategic communication as well. What you got, Paul?
I'm very interested in the efforts that Anthony Rogers Wright is talking about. Let's talk about some of the people that are coming down and helping some of the organization. I definitely want to see some professional organizing, some professional tips on organizing, and try to draw people together for people to put the money where their mouth is on that. Tamara Dwyer in the chat says LB 1040 just had a hearing in Lincoln on this topic.
Okay.
LB 1040 change provision for the Nebraska Mental Health Commitment Act relating to grounds for civil commitment and inpatient treatment, and allow for interested parties. I guess I could have put it up where I could read it better. File petitions. There you go. I'll give you a link to this so you can dig into that bill a little bit more and understand more about it. And if you have any testimony, you always can hit that button. You always can hit that submit comments online and give your testimony there for sure. Pop says that is why ICE is being placed in strategic areas so that voters against Trump can be rounded up en masse, and so that a civil war can begin with Trump when Trump loses in 2028 and fights to stay in power.
Honestly, not far off from what I'm seeing, Pop. So we haven't really talked about it. I don't know if any of you saw when I posted this on Friends of, but there has been a report speaking of the voting situation and the role it's playing, and basically Trump, ramping up his aggression both abroad and domestically, basically to try to block from the fact that he's most likely going to prison when this is all said and done, and probably going to be impeached if midterms go the way that a lot of people are hoping that they go. But there's a glimpse into what could possibly be a bigger issue for Trump coming out of Fulton County, right here in the backyard of where I am. If you remember, there was a FBI raid of the Fulton County election office. 700 or so boxes were taken. It is now being reported that there are evidence of election fraud, but not in 2020. In 2024, from Elon Musk and his American PAC, the America Political Action Committee, has been reprimanded and has been called out for sending out pre-filled absentee ballots to voters in several counties throughout Georgia and not identifying that these aren't official ballots. So again, they're sending out pre-filled out ballots to voters and not, dictating that these aren't official ballots. Like people are believing that they're official ballots, and some of those ballots were put in.
That definitely sounds like something he would do. Doge would do to be more efficient. We'll fill it out for you, send it to you.
And Georgia being one of the swing states, it is there's a suspicion that Georgia isn't the only state that Elon did that type of thing to. So again, Trump. Somebody mentioned that Trump lies, and I almost feel like that's actually preferable. Like you listen long enough, you listen to enough lies, you start to tell the truth. And this whole election fraud thing that he's been pushing, maybe he's telling the truth. It's just not who he say it is.
Let me see this map again and see if there's anything going on in Georgia.
Yeah.
That's a big site. 10,000 beds.
Concentration camps in Georgia and data centers in Georgia.
Hold on. Is that a little dot inside the big dot? So that's 10,000 beds and 1.5 thousand beds. Okay. That's interesting. Voter fraud by Elon Musk. Ariel's 402 says America fights ICE and funding quit getting back tax returns. Okay. America fights ICE and funding is quit getting back tax returns. Adjust your deductions so that you get closer to zero return or owning a small amount. Okay, let us know why. What's the
strategy behind that?
Strategy there. Wanda Lewis says someone had to someone had to happen because I don't believe we are living in real time.
I said it when Trump first got elected. It feels like the Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone.
We didn't jumped out. Black Dynamite in the chat. He said he's here the whole time today. He says I never fully understood his impeachment thing that happened the first term. Yeah, good question. What did happen with his impeachment the first term?
I don't think there was enough votes. I think there's something it didn't. I don't know.
We speculate.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question. But
Go ahead.
I will say Marlon Harrison mentioned Senator Al Green. Excuse me, Senator Al Green from Texas was removed from the House during the State of the Union, which I found interesting because Senator Al Green was the senator who brought up the first impeachment record files and has said that he's going to do it again, given the results of the midterm. So, yeah, very interesting.
Let's take a quick break. First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B. Buddy the guy. We're in the second hour. Got about 20 minutes left. We'll continue the conversation. Let us know your thoughts. We appreciate you putting your thoughts in the chat on this second hour, getting loose a little bit with some ideas on what we can do. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Like we're all in a big sinkhole. And hopefully you're in the cars behind them backing away from it. Welcome back for Sky Omaha in the morning. Shuffle the cars there a little bit. Let us know what you're thinking, how you feeling. Of course, you can continue the conversation when we're not live over on First Sky Omaha, Friends of First Sky Omaha on the group page on Facebook. Love to hear from all of you on some things. Thanks for everybody who's putting posts there as well. There's a lot of advertisements that's happening over there too. We do advertising. So if you would like us to do some advertising for you on our platforms, then let us know. Hit us up at firstsky@gmail.com. We do post some of the things that you post there, but we try to make sure that Friends of First Sky Omaha is not just spammed with a whole lot of ads, continuous ads. So if you would like to expand on your ad situation over there, instead of just spamming First Sky Omaha or Friends of First Sky Omaha group page, let us know. Hit us up, firstsky@gmail.com. We appreciate it. But G. Miller Jenkins in the chat. Good morning. I haven't seen your name for a minute. Said he was only impeached by the House, but not removed by the Senate both times, which allowed him to run for office again. Thank you. Appreciate that clarification. Let us know how things are going in Lincoln as well on the fight too, if you would. Mama God says passed in the House, not in the Senate. No impeachment. Same with Clinton. Interesting.
Yeah.
Same with Clinton.
Yeah, Brother Anthony Rogers is right, saying it's a two-step process. There's impeachment, and then there's a conviction that has to happen. I believe that's the Senate part.
There you go. There you go. Appreciate that. There you go, Black Dynamite. We've all got reminded about what's happening there on that. We appreciate you. And again, we appreciate you guys showing up here and giving us your thoughts on some things. So, it's interesting. Like we always talk about the fact that we do not. It's kind of unavoidable now, but we started off few years back saying this can't be a show where it's the whole show is just what Trump is doing, but there's no way to get around it because of how everything is tied. And when we say what Trump is doing, we fully understand that this is the country that we live in that's abiding by these things that won these things in the first place, and Trump has kind of been just a spokesperson for him. So that when I think about what it is that we need to be doing, I think about that. I can bring it back down to a local organizing, a local fight, because we're fighting. Even just in this state alone, there's enough to be very occupied with what it is that we have to figure out how to do for ourselves to keep ourselves safe and thriving and continue on with it. So that's what I bring all that back to. If possible. Monsieur Miller Jenkins says LPD shot a man this morning. Are you kidding me? I don't hear about much stuff like that happening in Lincoln. Thank you for the update. We'll look into it. Pops is saying McDonald kept the Republicans from following through on the punishment phase of Trump's impeachment. If he had not done that, Trump would not be in office today. I've been hearing Mitch McConnell getting a little backlash from some of his old interns lately. A lot of people there's a little something going on there. He's not getting the support that he was getting before, but in a messed up way though. Like his proteges are all Trumpers, and so they are like he's not being Trump enough type of situation. Really interesting to see them turn on each other that way as well. But yeah, I appreciate that. We're getting reminded about what actually happened and who's actually still around that made it be like it is today. McConnell being one of them. Messed up. Majid Miller Jenkins, Trump is only the symptom of a larger illness that is colonialism. We see this reflected in Palestine, Sudan, Congo, and even the UK. We need society to wake up and connect the dots. Seems like that's all we do around it. It seems like that's the majority of what it ends up being for us on the show is the dot connecting all the time. Like,
and you feel like it needs to move past that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, naturally, yeah. Like, yeah. Because we're way past feeling like there needs to be some action. Like like I said, for me, the process is you hear the information, you find the information out, you figure out how you feel about the information, where you stand on the information, because that's going to directly affect what you feel like you're going to do about the information. So, in some ways, we are long past what are we going to do about it. And we've already kind of been diving into some of the things, like you say, lanes of change, strategic communication. This is us keeping each other informed, us breaking things down and learning from one another on what all these things mean and how they connect. Definitely part of that, but also lanes of change are also 6 to dismiss. Also talking to folks about getting some folks out of seats and putting other folks into seats. This is the follow the money season. So now we're talking about what happens with financial power and how that works, and what it is that how it is that we need to address that part of it. How can these organizations be defunded? Who needs to be there to help defund these organizations and dismantle these organizations? That's part of it as well. And then, of course, how we sustain ourselves. That's also the follow the money part too. How do we sustain ourselves within this society and situation? And again, fighting everybody that's around us all the time, because you're right. It's not just Trump is the Trump effect is more psychological than anything. He wouldn't. None of this would work if people just decided they weren't going to do. They were going to do something else, and there's a lot of states and people and judges and people that are fighting those things around too. We can't forget about that happening as well. It's not the whole country that wants things to be like it is. It's but it is a lot. It's a lot of the country that wants to keep the systems where they are.
Pretty much, and got to keep fighting.
Yep.
And the last thing that we need is to be fighting each other.
Okay. Like what you said, like how you did
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And just want to make sure you was all right with touching on that before I went there. But yeah. And the last 15 or so minutes, I did want to pivot and touch on something that's happening in our own community, talking about, economic development and the connection of the lanes. And we know that, looking at the pages of history, when we were able to move things and had movements like the civil rights movement, and we had, people running for office, and we had support from our community, that's because we had an economic base. We had people, pulling together resources, coming together for a common good. So when we see things like what we saw yesterday on Bill King's show, the situation between Jackson's Takeout and OEDC, supposed to be the Omaha Economic Development Corporation, and some of the challenges that they're giving people in our community who are trying to develop economically. Again, this is, I'll just say, in my opinion, a step in the wrong direction. Again, economic power is definitely one of the lanes that we have to master in order to do all the things that we're talking about. The coalition building, the political power, the strategic communication. None of it is going to matter if we don't have the funds to back our candidates, back the people that we want to see in office, to actually pay for the food that we need, to actually pay for the things that we need. It takes finance to raise a nation, and it is nation time. So again, for those of you who did not see the situation or did not see the interview between the brothers from Jackson Takeout and Bill King on 95.7 The Boss, apparently this is, from what I'm hearing from other people who have also dealt with OEDC, kind of par for the course as far as a deteriorating tenant landlord relationship. Do you have any insight or any input on that?
I do. First thing I would like to say though is dealing with some of the stuff that happens within our community in the style that we do. We'll reach out to OEDC and see if they would like to come onto the show and have some discussion about it. We'd also like to reach out to the brothers over at Jackson Fair Deal Cafe as well and have some discussion about it as well. Like I said, shout out to Bill King, 95.7 The Boss, got the ball rolling here with this. Shout out to MIA, who's another news gang soldier for sure, with the Heartland paper, and he was a part of what was going on here and was able to help out and make sure that people understood their rights and reach out to some constituents as well. Shout out to Dave Pontos, who is the lawyer for the Jackson brothers. So there's a lot of players involved here. We're not going to get too far into the conversation. There's just a dispute between the people that are renting the spot from OEDC and OEDC, and we will reach out to both of them to hear from them directly on what the situation is. But yes, this is something that needs to be discussed. As a matter of fact, I believe that former Senator Wayne, who this is also something we were going to talk to him about today as well, because I think that he was involved as attorney in some of these situations too. And yes, our community has heard of many individuals and many businesses and many entities that had some kind of landlord issues with OEDC. And this is not the first time that we heard some of the problems here. As a matter of fact, there was a Fair Deal Cafe before the Jackson's Fair Deal Cafe. that
Damn,
was
I got
in there as well, right? So, yeah, this is definitely something we have discussed, and also because of OEDC being connected to Inland Port Authority building and a lot of the things that are happening there. So, again, before we get too deep into it, we will definitely reach out to the entities, the people that are involved here, and have some more discussion, and so that we can kind of help try to bridge some gaps when it comes to this. Because yes, we do need to make sure that we're, even more important than tightening up our economics, just gathering together as a people and being able to support
man.
each other is really kind of what's happening there in that way. So, Majid Miller Jenkins is saying something that's kind of on my mind too. Dismantling does take defunding, but a lot of the work is removing the work. Uh, people we know work for ICE as police, as enforcement in offices. The money is what enslaves us to the system. So while yes, we do need to get our finances in order to have a movement, we have to remember that that's not the biggest and only thing there is that we need to be concentrating on too. That's one aspect of it.
One of the links.
This togetherness, this getting on the same page here together and helping each other thrive in all different directions is number one as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, it is, because we don't win it, because I've seen a lot of folks. Look, I'm from California, and I'm gonna tell you about that. We, I grew up in California. I would say we were middle class. We had enough money to pay the rent. We were good. Kind of that typical American kind of living check to check, maybe a couple more dollars than that. From what I remember, I never really sat down with my parents and asked them what their finances were.
What's the books looking like?
Yeah. I got a car when I was 16, so we did what we did. But we were I would definitely say working class folks. We weren't living in Baldwin Hills or nothing like that. Okay. So over the course of the years, and I've been gone from living in Southern California for decades now. Over the course of them decades, the people, my family, and some of the people that have stayed there have had to adjust to this rising cost of living there, because now it's ridiculously expensive to live anywhere in California. And it makes me wonder how y'all doing it. And the conversations that I have with them is that, well, they had to up their game in this direction. They had to start this business. They had to do this, do that. It ain't nothing for you to be in California and make $300,000 a year and still be at the level that we were back in the 80s. How far am I from making $300,000 a year right now? Pretty far. But so I'm like, if I would have stayed in California, I would have had to move right along with them. And but I also feel like it's become somewhat of a trap for some friends of mine. I got people that I grew up with that are now hardcore Trump folks, because they
Really?
yes, because they money raised with the times, and your attitude start changing when you tied to that money. You start figuring out how to protect that money. You start figuring out how to make more money. You start figuring out that the money is the answer, and it's a trap to just say that it's that, like this is we have to. Yeah, it's a trap. It's a straight trap. Because by the time you into the hundreds of thousands of dollars just to live in the place that you live in at, now you understand why you need to have a tax break, and now you understand. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, and also just capitalism, because if you're on that tip and you're making some money, somebody else is under you making less, so you're already doing that capitalist thing, and so now. Do you still agree with workers' rights, or do you have a company now that doesn't necessarily want a union, whereas you were in a union before when you was broke? You know what I'm saying? Like we don't talk enough about the switching lanes. Thank you, Wanda Lewis. Switching lanes. We don't talk much about that, but that's the thing. Your tax bracket is absolutely associated a lot of times with what it is. There ain't a whole lot of McKinseys out there that's just giving billions away. Well, if you up there with some billions, you ain't got no choice but to go with what the billionaires are doing to try to help y'all keep y'all billions.
Which, when you look at the fact that billionaires are governors, mayors, quite a concern. Quite a concern. But this actually reminds me in this last 5 minutes of something that I do want to talk about at some point throughout the season as we follow the money. the decline of the American dollar and the fact that it is a trap and the reality in that situation that we haven't really talked about. Not sure how many of you are paying attention to that in just your free time, but it's a reality. If you remember, there have been points and times in countries, economic history where burning the money was more valuable than spending it.
Oof, man. I grew up next to Mexico where the pesos was you could have 1 million pesos and it was like $5.
Come on, man. Come on. So again, talking about the trap of this system, this capitalist system that we're in, and the decline of it. I was actually looking for an article talking about the fact that UK just dumped, I believe, Visa and MasterCard. Did you hear about this?
I did. Mm-hmm.
And what does that mean for the American financial system? And in the process of looking for that, I actually came across another article. This is from CNBC talking. This is reported from January 20th of this year, talking about how Danish pension fund is selling $100 million in their treasury, citing poor U.S. government finances. A Danish pension operator called Akademiker Pension says it is exiting U.S. treasury bonds because of finance concerns as Denmark spars with President Trump over the Greenland situation. Again, Anders Scheld, who is with the pensions, he's the investing chief, said the decision was driven by what he sees as poor U.S. government finances amid America's debt crisis, but it also comes as tensions escalate between the U.S. and Denmark, of course, after Trump's latest threats to tariff European countries if Greenland and Arctic territory of Denmark isn't sold to the U.S. And, of course, Trump doubling down on his tariff situation, as we've seen just recently, and really after the 150 days that he has per the statute that he's using now for his tariffs, the possibility of him having to send that money back, even if it does take a long time, may also embolden and incentivize other countries to get away from and dump their treasury bonds, which again only means the decline of the U.S. dollar. And we got to talk about what that means for us. If you got 150,000, like we're talking about how to raise money, how to own houses and building equity, all of that can be undermined overnight. So gold, crypto, other things. It is an interesting time as far as, talking about assets, measurements of value, how to hold value and things like that. Again, we got a few minutes left in the show, so don't have too much time to dive into it, but it's a part of following the money. We'll definitely have to continue talking about that this season.
Yep. It's all about commodities, Mortimer.
Pork bellies.
Pork bellies. Wanda Lewis says several Republicans don't agree with Trump. They're not going to say it. However, they will simply bow out, choose not to retain a run for re-election. Interesting. You've been hearing that. She says that's what she's talking about with the switching lanes. Okay. Donnell Sessions says it's a trap both ways. Talking about money. I used to volunteer and work for organizations here. Now that I need help, there is none. It was all a lie. Talking about getting help from these organizations. Interesting. Majee Miller Jenkins, where money speaks, morals find silence. And I used to think it was evil, but I've softened on that a little bit. It's out of fear. We live in a system here where fear is what makes you try to hold on to a couple of dollars you got.
Yeah.
If there was more of it felt like your country was a safety net for you as a citizen a little bit better, then you might move different or feel different or think different with it. She says, I worked for OHA for 25 years ago. I didn't know that. You worked at OHA 25 years ago. Wow. William King in the chat. Good morning. We just talked about 35-7 the boss. Peace. So you were right. Wanda Lewis says, William King was a previous tenant of OEDC. I'm going to leave that right there.
Well,
several people were.
Yeah. He wasn't the only one.
Brother King, we were just talking about you. We just talked about the conversation you had yesterday with the brothers over there. Shout out 95.7 The Boss. You can go back and listen to this conversation on YouTube on 95.7 The Boss's YouTube page. Go do that. Here's some deets. Here's some details. Appreciate that. He says we don't have local or national plan. We do not, and I'm hoping that that the strategic communication that we're engaged in can help in that conversation and to put plans together. That's kind of the reason why you talk about it. But G. Miller Jenkins says money is what drives the fear. If the devil were tangible, it would have three names: money, greed, and power.
Profound.
For real. This season is Follow the Money, and I hope that we're having a deeper, more nuanced conversation about the money situation in the way that the brothers do about mental health at Beyond Stigma. It's one thing for brothers to get together, talk about how they feel. It's another thing for them to bring on folks that can talk to speak to us about mental health and have a goal and a purpose for the conversation. To not just have a conversation and share feelings, but also to take care of each other's mental health, go deeper, go into the nuance of what that means. So please support these brothers right here. Even if you don't go to the event, you can still support them. Hit up Johnny No Good. Give them a donation even. Make it easy for them to put this on. Shout out to Assembly of the Saints. You can donate to Assembly of the Saints as well. But this is happening on Friday the 28th from 3 to 5. Shout out to Johnny No Good, Beyond the Stigma. It is free. And it is for men to come together and have some discussion and go deep into mental health and take care of each other on that way. And again, Follow the Money season. I want us to go deep on that issue. I'm really happy with what you guys are talking about here towards the end about what money does, what living in the capitalist society does. This trap. I'm glad I got to be able to relay that information about friends of mine in California that I've watched go from fight the power to I'm gonna vote for Trump because he gonna save my money.
Yeah.
And watching seeing the process and knowing about how much of a choice they kind of don't really have too much of a choice. Stay broke and have to move out of California or pay that $3,500 a month rent for a 1-bedroom and stuff like that that's going on in LA.
New York, Florida.
It's funny how people are resilient that way too. You can sit here and be like, boy, that's so much money. I would never be able to make it there. But when you're there and you're in it, you figure out how to make it. You figure out how to make it wherever you're at. We're figuring out how to make it right now. Yeah. So and in figuring out how to make it, sometimes your thoughts can change up. Sometimes your fears change. It's things you've locked yourselves into in order to be able to continue to maintain that amount of money a month locks you in. It's a slippery slope and we can all succumb to it. So we all got to watch it in some kind of way. Like I said, there ain't a whole lot of McKinseys out here just giving away billions. So if you got money, it's very rare that you're going to give it up like that. It's got to happen. Brother King says, love you, gentlemen. You are necessary. 95 the boss. Right on, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Love.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here, man. It's 9:03 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we appreciate you going 3 minutes over our agreed upon schedule. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. Sorry we weren't able to make it, and speak to Brother Wayne. Quite honestly, man, I mean, I know y'all see me combating the cough throughout the show. Paul, I kind of been seeing you got a little cough coming on. I've been talking to a lot of people. There might be something going around. I'm gonna just say it. I'm seeing a lot of people dealing with some kind of cough. I'm not sure what's going on, but
put your mask back on.
Man, might be that time. I'm just saying, be aware, pay attention, and take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones. Again, hopefully we can speak to former Senator Wayne here soon, because there's a lot that he has going on, not just the petition, but of course he is running for office. He announced over the weekend that he is running for Douglas County Clerk. I definitely want to talk to him about that. Again, we are in midterm, still 6 to dismiss, all of that. We're still pushing the line on that, and of course still following the money throughout the season, man. So again, hopefully we'll continue to do that with all of you. Thank you. We love you. We appreciate you for tuning in with us here on First Guy Omaha in the morning, Paul.
In the morning.
Hey. Again, catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on First Guy Omaha. And of course, check us out every Friday for the weekly wrap as well. And also stay on top of everything we have coming at our website, firstguyomaha.com. Well, without further ado, Paul B.
Yo.
Take it away, man.
Join us Friday. We'll be talking to Brianna Full from the OPS School Board, Omaha Public Schools Board. We definitely need to speak to her about some things. Plus, she has an announcement for us as well. So stay tuned for that. Also, same show, Amanda Kephart from Film Streams will be
Hey.
joining us as well to talk about the initiatives that's happening here in March now that March is coming upon us. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. We got some good guests on a Love Supreme Friday. We'll be talking to some folks about that and can continue the conversation. We will continue the conversation on Friends of First Sky Omaha on the group page on Facebook. That's where we continue the conversation when we're not live. So please continue to put items there that you think we should be talking about when we go live, and do us a favor and comment, like some of the posts, engage over there, because again, that's where the conversation is happening when we're not live. With that, we'll get out of here. We appreciate everybody that's joined us. Pop says, enjoy the show. Thank you both. See you on Friday. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yep. Also, Wanda Lewis leaving us with a thought saying, one thing that seems to happen in North Omaha is that they wait until people pass away to give them their flowers. Then it's mostly for profit. Man, something to think about. We definitely try to give people their flowers while they can receive them around here.
That part.
That's why we try to stay appreciative of all of you and everybody in our community that we're sharing this community with. So we appreciate you very much. RG is giving us a heads up on some haps. He said Christian Johnson coming to Funny Bone this Sunday. I'll get some more information about it and talking about it in the haps on Friday. We'll dive in. Appreciate you, RG. Yeah, we're going to get out of here, man. Shout out to the Omaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Appreciate all of your comments and your questions and your heartfelt conversation today. We can't do it without you. Also, shout out to our members, the people who are the $10 people, the $25 people, the $50 people. Thank you very much for that. If you want to support what it is that we're doing here and you're so inclined, please go to firstsky.omaha.com and hit the join button and become a member of the channel as well, so we can expand that. And if you have not yet become a member or liked and subscribed over on YouTube, we highly encourage you to do that as well. YouTube is another way that we're trying to grow so that we can sustain what it is that we're doing here. And you being a subscriber really helps that. It's free to you, but it helps us out tremendously. So please do that and tell a friend to go over and subscribe on YouTube as well, if you will. With that, take care of yourselves. It's supposed to warm up a little bit today in the 40s. It's supposed to be a little rainy a little later, though, so take your umbrella out and get ready for that. But, yeah, it's a little better than that 1 degree it was on Monday, that's for sure. Bruh. We out of here, y'all.
Peace.
By the way, Van Glorious, this is protected by the red, the black, and the green. At the crossroad, with the key.
By any means